Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be discovering this book of Paul Morphy, very celebrated chess player in the world, till this day, one of the greatest to ever play the game. Today we're going to be looking at his most famous game, A Night at the Opera. This was played casually against Duke of Brunswick during a live show of the Paris Opera. So imagine this, just Paul Morphy just playing while somebody is singing. It's pretty crazy, right? So yeah, this is a part of why this game is so crazy famous, and also because it's a wonderful game. So we're gonna start off here with Pawn King 4. This book is written in old notation as it is a vintage book. Pawn King 4, Pawn King 4. Knight, King, Bishop 3. Pawn, Queen 3. This is called the Philidor defense, rejected by the super grandmasters out there because it's inferior to White's position after d4. So Bishop, Knight 5 here. So the concept is if White tries to gain the pawn, like this, takes, well, Black here takes the knight first, and White have to respond to this threat. And take the bishop with the queen, which is what Paul Morphy does. And now pawn takes pawn, bishop, queen, bishop 4. This is actually threatening checkmate on f7, but actually the Duke saw it and played knight, bishop 3. Paul Morphy is a known attacker, and he plays queen, knight 3, attacking f7 and b7 pawns. Very smart. Duke responds with a bad move, queen e7 or queen king 2. And so the Duke defends this threat on f7, but blocks his bishop for further development, and castling is nowhere to be seen, which is kind of bad. But with this move, the Duke intends a little trap. If Morphy were to take this seemingly free pawn on b7, now the Duke has queen b4. And his rook will not be taken because this is an exchange between his queen and the Duke's queen. And now the Duke is only a pawn down, which is what you want if you're playing Paul Morphy, if you see what I'm saying. The great Paul Morphy does not take this pawn in view of that trade, and he plays knight c3 or knight queen bishop 3. After pawn bishop 3, really defending the two squares that the knight was aiming at. Morphy does another fantastic development move, bishop knight 5 or bishop g5, basically putting this knight in a pin, and so all this kingside is isolated and is in inferior position to this developed and spacious white position. The Duke here, underdeveloped, doesn't have any other developing moves because of the b pawn failing, and who wants to play g6 here? He plays the aggressive pawn to b5. This attacks the bishop vigorously and forces Paul Morphy to go back. But we're talking about Paul Morphy. Paul Morphy never goes back. And so, being the aggressive player that he is, he plays knight takes. And after the Duke accepts his sacrifice and takes back on b5, Morphy gets 2 pawns for the piece with check on the king here. And the Duke does the only sensible move. I mean, you don't want to move your king in this file. You don't want to move your queen because it'll take, and this knight is pinned, right? So after knight d7, the only developing move also, so that's, like a little plus for the Duke. And here, Paul Morphy pursuing the active play triple castle, or castle, or large castle, or big castle, or queenside castle, whatever you want to call it. Boom, and strikes on that knight here. The knight attacked twice and defended, not really, because you can't really defend that with a queen because it's 2 minor pieces attacking the knight, and you can't really defend that with a knight because the knight is pinned. So this knight is in danger, in serious danger. And so the Duke of Brunswick and the Count Izoard play rook d8, defending this knight once more. And here is where the final combination, the beautiful combination, happens. Morphy Morphy sacrifices the exchange right here on d7, and after knight rook takes, he remains patient. Rook d1, one of the keys of chess. Remain patient. And here, the duke and the count don't really have a protection for this rook and play queen e6. Now, possibly some exits for the bishop and castling in the future, but Paul Morphy brings an end to this and plays bishop takes d7. And after knight takes d7, queen can't take d7 because rook would take, and then the material advantage would be too great. After knight takes d7, Paul Morphy from the US of A plays queen b7, completely sacrificing his last piece of the board, except for his rook and bishop. And after the duke and the count agree on taking, it's forced. They don't have much of a choice. Paul Morphy plays rook d8, checkmate. And that is where this game ends. Playing a casual game at the Paris Opera while listening to some live music, some loud live music. And Paul Morphy still extracts the brilliance of his brain onto the chessboard. I hope you enjoyed this game, and if you feel like it, comment what you like. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could help, that'd be super nice, and see you.